Before we start, there is one thing you need to understand. The CIA does not recruit killers. It recruits people who are good at one very specific thing: disappearing, not physically, psychologically. And the most terrifying part of everything you're about to hear, the person who disappears is you. Level 1. The letter. You did not apply for this job. No one does. You are 22 years old. You just graduated from Georgetown with a degree in international relations. You speak Mandarin and Arabic because your mother made you learn, and you hated her for it. Until right now. You have never been arrested, never been in a fight. The most dangerous thing you have ever done is jaywalk on M Street. Then an envelope arrives. No return address, no stamp, just a time, a building in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, and a single line at the bottom of the page. Tell no one. This invitation expires in 72 hours. You tell yourself you will just go and see what it is. Just look. You will not commit to anything. That is the first lie you tell yourself. It will not be the last. Inside the building, a man shakes your hand. He has a completely forgettable face, which you will later understand is not an accident. He slides a form across the table. You sign it before reading it. He watches you do that. He writes something down. You just passed your first test. You do not know yet what it was. Level 2. The farm. Camp Peary, Virginia. They call it the farm. It looks like a summer camp. It is nothing like a summer camp. For 18 months, they break you down and build something else in your place. You learn to pick a lock in total darkness in under 40 seconds. You learn to drive in reverse at 80 miles per hour without looking at the mirror. You learn to read a room in the first 3 seconds, who is watching the door, who is watching you, and who is told to watch you without you knowing. But the real education is not in any classroom. It is psychological. Every week, your instructors lie to you to test whether you catch it. Your classmates surveil you as training exercises. Your meals are sometimes laced with low-dose stimulants to see how you function without sleep. And then one night, your closest friend at the farm sits across from you. He looks genuinely ashamed. He tells you he has been reporting every conversation you have had to the instructors since week 1. You nod. You say, "I know. I have been doing the same thing to you." That is not true, but he believes you, and in that moment, you learn something that no one puts in a textbook. The most powerful weapon in intelligence work is not a gun. It is the ability to make someone feel completely understood and then use that feeling against them. You graduate at the top of your class. You are officially an officer of the Central Intelligence Agency. You are also quietly a different person than the one who walked in. Level 3. Bucharest. First posting, Bucharest, Romania. Your cover, Assistant Trade Attaché at the United States Embassy. Your actual job? Find Romanian intelligence officials who are drowning in debt and offer them a lifeline. Your apartment is deliberately dull. Gray walls, flat lighting, a view of a parking structure. You drive a Skoda with a dented rear bumper. Invisibility is the uniform. 3 months in, you identify your target. A defense ministry analyst named Mihai, 51 years old. His wife has cancer. His son needs surgery that Romanian public health will not cover. He drinks wine alone at the same restaurant every Thursday night. You sit at the bar for 4 Thursdays before you say a single word to him. By the 8th Thursday, he thinks you are his friend. By the 12th, you make the offer. $800 a month through a consulting firm in Cyprus. He photographs certain documents on his phone and uploads them to a cloud folder. That is all. He stares at his wine for a long time. Then he says yes. You shake his hand. You smile. On the inside, your heart is hammering. On the outside, you look like a man who just confirmed a dinner reservation. Langley sends back a 2-word response. Well done. That is the most validation you will receive for the next 3 years. 2 words. And somehow it is enough. But here is what the cable does not say. Mihai is the 23rd person that week recruited by a foreign intelligence service in Bucharest. The city is a feeding frenzy, and you are being watched too. You will not find out for 6 years, and when you do, it will destroy everything. Level 4. The network. You are 28, you manage 7 active assets across Eastern Europe. 7 human beings who believe at varying levels that you are their friend, their confidant, their salvation. One of them is a 52-year-old grandfather in Warsaw. You have met his family. You know his granddaughter's name is Zofia, and she wants to be a veterinarian. He tells you about her with that specific pride that only grandfathers have. You use those details, you remember them. You bring them up at exactly the right moments to make him feel seen. This is not cruelty, this is craft. But the line between the two is thinner than you have been told. One morning, Warsaw Station sends a priority cable. Your asset is spooked. Possible surveillance, by Polish counterintelligence. If they identify him before you move him, he goes to prison. His family is destroyed. You fly in the same day. You meet him on a park bench. His hands will not stop moving. You look him in the eye. You are perfectly calm. You tell him he is the most important person in the entire operation. That Washington is watching. That he matters. He steadies. He stays. He keeps passing documents. You fly home that night. You watch a film on the plane. You eat the warm nuts. You sleep. You do not think about him again until 3 months later when the cable arrives. He has been arrested. You read it twice. You close the file. You approve 2 new operations before lunch. This is what they mean. When they say the job requires a certain kind of person, you are becoming that person, and you cannot tell anymore if that is an achievement or a warning. Level 5. Beirut. 33 years old. Beirut Station Chief. You run intelligence operations in the most dangerous intelligence environment on Earth. Hezbollah, Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Russian GRU, Mossad. 4 foreign services hunting each other through the same narrow streets. And in the middle of all of it, you. 3 officers, a safe house that rotates every month. One Tuesday night at 11 p.m., your officer Chen comes to you pale-faced. Her primary asset, a Hezbollah procurement official who has been passing weapons data for 2 years, has been burned. Someone gave up his name. He has 36 hours before Iranian intelligence picks him up. You run the exfiltration, fake Syrian passport, a car to the port, a fishing vessel to Cyprus, a private flight to London. It works. The asset lands safely. And then you pull Chen's file, and something makes your blood go cold. Chen has been compromised for 4 months, not by Hezbollah, by someone inside your own building, someone who knew the asset's name before Chen ever filed the report. You run a quiet internal investigation. 11 days. You find 3 names. 2 are cleared. The third is a man who shook your hand at the farm on your very first day, who looked you in the eye and told you the agency would feel like family. He has been working for Iranian intelligence for 8 years. You never fully trust another colleague again. The paranoia that will follow you for the rest of your career starts here, in a safe house in Beirut, at 2 in the morning, staring at a name you recognize. Level 6, the 7th floor, back at Langley. Senior Operations Manager. No windows, 3 classified monitors. You read intelligence from 40 countries every morning before your first coffee. You know things now that most presidents never know. You know about the 3 attacks stopped last year that the public will never hear about. You know about the operation that went wrong in Mali and the 4 officers whose names will never appear in any newspaper. You know which foreign leader is lying directly to the White House while smiling in Oval Office photographs. You know too much. That is not power. That is a cage with invisible bars. Then the mole hunt begins. 3 assets in 2 different countries have gone silent in 6 weeks. That is not coincidence. That is a pattern. That is someone in this hallway walking past your desk every morning saying good morning to you. For 5 months, you eat lunch alone. You speak only in generalities. You start deliberately placing small errors in your reports, false details, engineered to trace exactly where the leak is going. Month 6. Counterintelligence arrests a man 4 desks from yours. 14 years at the agency. You have had coffee with him 40 times. You complained about the parking structure together. His children go to the same school as your nephew. He has been working for Chinese intelligence since a vacation in Macau 9 years ago. And here's the part that never leaves you. 18 months ago, you felt something was off about him. Once, you dismissed it. His assets in Beijing were already dead by the time they arrested him. They died the day you dismissed that feeling. You never dismiss a feeling again. But some nights, never again, does not feel like enough. Level 7. The operation that does not exist. You are 43 years old. You are running a covert action program in a country you are not legally authorized to operate in. The president signed the authorization. Congress was briefed in a room with no recording devices and no written minutes. Your mission: tip the outcome of a foreign election, not through hacking, not through disinformation, through money, through leverage, and through ensuring the right people are in the right rooms at precisely the right moments. Your supervisor describes it as democracy adjacent. You operate under 3 different identities across 18 months. You meet foreign intelligence liaisons in hotel rooms in Vienna, in Amman, in Singapore. You never use the same phone twice. You never fly the same route home. The operation works, the right faction wins. The new government signs a defense agreement Langley has wanted for 15 years. The director mentions your name to the president. You receive a classified commendation that you are never allowed to show anyone. You fly home business class. You order whiskey. You do not drink it. You just look at it for the entire flight because you have already read the cables from 3 months out. The faction you helped put in power has jailed 40 opposition journalists. 2 human rights lawyers have disappeared. The cables from the field call it consolidating stability. You wrote the strategic rationale for this operation. You said the alternative was worse. You still believe that, probably, maybe. The gap between probably and certainly is where you now permanently live, and that gap is about to get much wider. Level 8, Deputy Director, 51 years old. You brief the President of the United States every morning at 7 a.m. You manage 3,000 recruited assets across 6 continents. You oversee covert operations in 22 countries. You have the authority to authorize actions that will never appear in any public document, not in your lifetime, and probably not in your children's. The money is irrelevant at this level. Government salary. The power is the currency. And for the first few weeks in this chair, the power feels extraordinary. Then reality introduces itself. A cable from Karachi, an asset you personally recruited 15 years ago, a man you vetted and handled, a man whose wedding photograph you have kept in a classified file. He has been arrested by Pakistani intelligence. He is being interrogated. Your legal team advises, any extraction attempt violates bilateral agreements and risks hundreds of other ongoing operations. You sit with the decision for 4 hours. You call 3 people. You read the relevant statutes. You do not extract him. 3 days later, the cable traffic stops. His name was Tariq. He had 2 daughters. He had been passing intelligence on nuclear proliferation networks for 11 years. He believed you when you told him America would protect him. You close the file. You approve 6 new operations. You attend a budget meeting. You eat a sandwich at your desk. This is what power feels like at its highest level. Not triumph, not glory, just the specific weight of choices already made that can never be unmade. Level 9. The call at 3 a.m. Your phone rings at 3:14 in the morning. The General Counsel. His voice is flat in the specific way that means something is catastrophically wrong. A journalist at the Washington Post has your name. Your real name, not a cover identity. Your actual name. She has the operational code name for a program running across 3 countries, and she has a source, not a foreign adversary. Someone inside your building, talking to a journalist. You have 48 hours before it publishes. In 48 hours, 3 ongoing operations collapse. Assets in 2 countries need immediate exfiltration. 2 years of work, gone. And your name, the name you have protected for 32 years, is on the front page of a national newspaper. You sit in your kitchen, 3:19 a.m. Your wife is asleep upstairs. She knows you work for the government. She has never asked more than that. In 32 years, she has never asked. You look at the dark window above the sink, and for the first time in 3 decades, a thought arrives that you cannot file away, cannot compartmentalize, cannot redirect into operational planning. You have spent 32 years lying to enemies, to assets, to allies, to oversight committees, to foreign leaders, to journalists who occasionally knocked on your embassy door. You lied to protect things that mattered. You told yourself that constantly. You believe it, mostly. But the source who just leaked to the Post, they are telling the truth. And somewhere in the silence of your kitchen at 3 a.m., you do not know how to feel about that. You make the call to the legal team. You start the crisis protocol. You are very good at doing the next thing. That has always been your skill. But the next thing is going to cost you something you did not know you still had. Level 10. Director. Senate confirmed. 6 weeks in. You brief the President of the United States. You are the most powerful intelligence officer on Earth. You know more secrets than most heads of state. You are the singular point through which America's darkest truths flow. And here is what no one tells you about reaching the very top. The intelligence does not get clearer, it gets worse. Every briefing is a mosaic of partial information, contradictory signals, and gaps that no asset, no satellite, no intercept can fill. You walk into the Oval Office and the most powerful man in the world looks at you expecting certainty. What you have is probability. He makes a decision. You do not know if it is right. You will not know for years, maybe decades. People die based on your briefing. That sentence has no comfortable place to live inside a human mind. You just find somewhere to put it, and you keep going. At night, in the protected residence, cameras outside, detail at the gate, a phone that can reach the situation room in 4 seconds, you lie awake. Not because of the current threat matrix. Not because of the 3 crises you are managing simultaneously. Because of Bucharest. Because of Mihai, the defense analyst with the sick wife. The first man you ever recruited. You wonder sometimes if his wife survived. You never looked it up. You had access. You could have looked at any point in 30 years. You just did not want to know. Your classified psychological profile describes your compartmentalization as elite level. It lists your lack of observable emotion during asset losses as a strength. It recommends you for continued advancement. No observable affect. They wrote that as a compliment. You read it again. You are not sure it was. The dark reflection. Here is the thing about spending a career inside the world's most sophisticated deception machine. You get very, very good at lying. To foreign governments, to hostile services, to assets, to journalists, to congressional oversight, to your wife. But the lies that do the most damage are never the ones you told other people. They are the ones that kept you going, that the work was worth it, that you were still the same person who signed that form at 22, that the warmth you showed your assets was real. Even though you used it as a weapon, you protected your country. Probably. But somewhere between Bucharest and Beirut and Karachi and the 7th floor, the person you were doing it for quietly left the building. And the most classified secret of your entire career is that you did not notice until it was far too late.